What we have here is a fully disassembled Berkeley Winds multi-key trumpet. The finished job on this is about a C on an A to an F scale. I mean, it's really not that good. Right where my pinky rests ever so gently, there's already a lot of lacquer wear. On this heavy trim kit, which is pretty cool, we're already seeing the lacquer is starting to degrade on that. Yeah, I've taken it all apart. Minus the valves, they're not going to be experimented on anyways. I did take the felts out of the top caps very delicately, as in with a flathead screwdriver, which I believe is the approved method. And basically we're going to submerge this in some pretty hot water for a couple hours, and we're going to see if we can get any of the lacquer off. So now all the parts are just soaking in some pretty hot water. If this doesn't work after a few hours, we'll try using increasingly abrasive sandpaper, and we'll just sort of go from there. So about 2 hours have elapsed now, and I gotta say, the results are pretty disappointing. The trumpet has experienced little to no plating loss. These reddish pink sort of inconsistencies and ripples have been here ever since I got the trumpet. That's nothing new. We experienced a little bit of plating loss on the bottom of the lead pipe, a little bit on the first valve casing, maybe just a tad on this crook on the back here. Looks like we got some coming along around the back of the valve casing. The smaller parts, I haven't been able to find any lost lacquer, so yeah, I guess the next stage is sandpaper. We'll see how that goes. I feel we need to mention that this is actually sort of a win for Berkeley Wind, because their lacquer, though it seems a bit subpar, can actually more or less withstand hot water. So that's good. Doesn't look like any of the solder joints have been critically weakened. Nothing is falling apart. So looks like we might have actually done a fairly good job with the lacquer. So I've brought up some sandpaper we had just lying around the house. We got a couple different types. This one's a pretty fine sandpaper, not too coarse. We'll start with this. This one is supposed to be more coarse, but it has sort of gotten worn down. And then this one's quite coarse. So I'll just go to town with these different things, and I'll show you guys how it goes. So I've been working away with the sandpaper for a while, and we're starting to see a bit of a color change. Definitely a consistency change. It's more rough now. But yeah, I've started working on the bell. I think those Carol brass trumpets with the raw brass bell look pretty hot, if I do say so. And that's what I've been doing. These two work pretty well. This one's actually quite coarse, even though it's supposed to, I guess, not be. This one is just too dull to do anything. Too worn down, I should say. But yeah, I'll just sort of keep going. It's hard to get sort of small areas like this, but needless to say, phase 2 is working out better than phase 1. Here's just a little bit of contrast between the bell section and the valve block. I'm actually starting to really like this. It's growing on me, even though it's a terrible, horrible, awful, homemade botch job. It's nice not having those ripples there. There's now plenty of unappealing scratches to look at, but I'll make sure to get some Brasso and polish it up a little better. But anyways, you can sort of see the difference between the plating and the raw brass now, which is nice. So I've pretty much finished what I'm doing for today. I started this on a Sunday afternoon, which is a bit of a stupid mistake. Ideally, I would have left it overnight on Saturday in the hot water, and then used as much of the Sunday as I could to get some sandpaper stuff done. But I've gotten sort of I guess a rough draft, you could say, of everything except the slides. So and the trim kit as well. So actually there's a little bit of wear right there, but basically what we've got right now is a sort of a two-tone trumpet with the raw stuff and the polished, lacquered stuff. And I'd say it actually is looking fairly nice. There's obviously some spots that I've missed. I'm gonna have to go over and basically scratch the whole thing up some more But this is the progress so far. Yeah, see you guys later. So I lied, I ended up finishing the whole thing. Well, not finishing. I've got a rough draft of basically the entire trumpet now. All of the slides have been worked on some. I gotta say, I'm not too disappointed with the result. Doesn't look awful. This is only phase 2. Hopefully there's going to be a phase 3 where I buy some sort of lacquer stripper to get rid of the rest of whatever's left. And stage 4, I'll buy some Brasso and polish it up real nice and smooth. It's definitely more abrasive to the touch than than when it was lacquered, but I'm just glad that the ripples aren't there anymore. They were really they looked bad. It was only on close inspection, obviously, but it just got annoying. So I've been trying to do a little playing. It's about 9 at night, so I have to be kind of quiet. But, yeah, here's just a little bit of playing for you guys. It works. I can't really compare and contrast, like, the tone with the lacquer and without it, because I've got a practice mute in. But, I mean, it still plays. The valves work just as well as before. The slides actually work better because I sanded them down a little bit. And, yeah, we'll finalize this thing some more in the coming clips. See you guys.